Southern Utah University. This is the Red, White, and U podcast with your host, Kendra Sheehan.
It's about to be week 10 for college football. The season is flying by, and every game at this point has playoff implications. Hello, and welcome into the Red, White, and U podcast, the official podcast of the United Athletic Conference. I'm your host, Kendra Sheehan, and today we have the signal caller for the Thunderbirds, Bronson Barron, joining the show. Bronson, we spoke at Media Day, but that was a long time ago. So it's almost November.
Take me through
how the year's been.
It's been all right. I think our schedule was pretty tough, and so didn't start off the way we wanted to, but, we've been able to string a couple good weeks together. So we're climbing at the right time, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you started off playing so many ranked opponents and you hung tight in all of those. And I know that's hard when you're right there for the beginning of the season and you're just not getting those wins. And so how did this team stay focused so that you could start to churn out some wins now on a 2-game win streak?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it was very frustrating being so tight every week. It was 3 points here, 3 points there. A 10-point game, it was frustrating, and then I think during the bye week we had a players only meeting and just kind of regrouped, refreshed, talked everything out, and was just like, hey, it's a new season, we got 6 more left. Let's put it together and see if we give ourselves an opportunity to make a run here. And so it was really just that bye week coming together, really figuring it out, what we want to do and how we're going to go about doing it, So that players only meeting was a good start, and then, like you said, we've been able to get a couple wins back to back, which is good. So,
what did Coach Fitz say when he found out you guys had a players only meeting?
It was Coach Fitz. We messaged him, was like, hey, Coach, we're gonna do a players only meeting today, and he was all for it. So, he supported it. He was like, you guys handle it, you older guys. This is your team, so you take care of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it really starts with the players. Did it start with the captains kind of wanting to do it and just some of the seniors?
Yeah, I reached out to Josh Dunn, to Senny, to Ed, to the older guys, and was just like, hey, this is what we need to do. And they were all for it. They're like, let's do it. So that players only meeting, it was big for us, I think.
That's awesome. And yeah, you look at the last 2 games, you beat Abilene Christian, and then you just took down Utah Tech. And I know, of course, the Utah Tech one is a fun one. It's that Utah rivalry. So how was that getting to claim the best of the 2 Utah schools?
It's good. Anytime you can, a win in college football is hard, and so when you're able to do it against your rival, it just makes it that much sweeter.
For you, I mean, ups and downs, obviously, throughout the season. What's been your biggest focus as you look to close out this season in your personal game?
I think just being efficient. My job as a quarterback is to distribute the ball to the playmakers. It is to get us into the right play call if what we got called isn't going to be successful, So I think just really focusing on my job. I can't control what everyone else is going to do, but I can't control what I'm going to do in my preparation. And so I think the rest of the year and what my big focus is whole season, is just do my job. I have 10 other guys on the field with me who I can trust to do theirs, distribute the ball to playmakers, get us in the right calls when we need to be in the right calls, and take care of the ball. So really, I know it kind of is pretty bland and pretty plain, but at the end of the day, my job is to do my job. And me doing that, I think, is the best way to be successful with my teammates and this team.
You have a running back in Joshua Dye, leads the NCAA in rushing touchdowns. I mean, he's just been phenomenal. Describe your two's relationship and how that's developed over the course of the year.
Yeah, it's funny. Me and Josh, we just had a lot of, just within practice, there's so many reps within practice that are just kind of you look back and they're funny, right? And so me and Josh have a really fun, energetic relationship. Josh is an absolutely phenomenal person. He is fun. He's exciting, so we have a great relationship, and it's just so nice, to have him be on my team. He takes a lot off my shoulders, and I try to do the same for him. So
Yeah, I mean, how much does that help you as a QB when you can literally hand it off to Dye, and no matter where he is on the field, he seems like he can find a way to take it to the house?
Oh, it's amazing. I think when teams have to really respect the run game, it opens up the pass game, and then vice versa. If they have to respect me in the wideouts, it does more for Josh. So it's been really nice having Josh, that's for sure.
And obviously, thinking about the postseason, this is that time of the year, but
Yeah,
you got to focus on the now. And so, what has been
yeah,
Coach Fitzgerald's message to you guys as you try and, lock in on just the task at hand? And that's Austin P this weekend.
yeah. I think, going back to that players only meeting, a big focus was be a winner each and every day. You know, win Monday, win Tuesday, win Wednesday, and win each day leading up to the game so that we have the opportunity and the ability to win on Saturday. I think you really have to take it day by day. And then you get into a period practice and you have to take it period by period. I want to win this period and take that over into the next period, So it's really just doing the minute things each and every day that will help you be a winner for that day.
Do you feel like with this two-game win streak, you guys have had those consistent high energy practices? Because I remember at one point, Coach Fitzgerald was talking about how, some days you'd look okay on
Yeah.
Wednesday and Thursday, but maybe those Monday and Tuesday practices weren't all there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last 2 weeks we've been a lot sharper in practice. There's been a lot more attention to detail, to energies there, the focus is there. So, when we're doing those things right, Monday through Friday, it gives you a great opportunity on Saturday. And I think we've taken a lot of pride in that the last 2 weeks.
Now you're a busy man. You got a family, you got a wife, you got a
Yes.
kid, you have all the things going on. And so how have you managed to balance that now that you're in the thick of it and it's about to be November football?
Yeah. I think it's really easy for me. My spouse, Kennedy, my wife, she's amazing. She's my goat. And so when you have an unbelievable spouse, it makes it a lot easier for you. So really all the credit of what I'm able to do is because of her. I'm able to do what I do because she is a fantastic mom. She's a good wife. So, you know, she's made it a lot easier for me than people probably will ever understand.
I was listening to a podcast where Coach Fitzgerald was saying all the wives and the kids are pushing the babies around the stroller around the track during practice. How
Yeah.
exciting is that? He was mentioning it's kind of funny, just hey, there they are.
Yeah. When Kennedy was first pushing the baby around the track, I didn't even notice it, and so I come home from practice. She's like, "Hey, like we saw you." I was like, "Oh, like you saw me when I was driving?" She's like, "No, we came to practice." I was like, "Oh my gosh, like yeah, you do that now." So at the beginning I didn't notice her, but at the end, yeah, I did, and it was a lot of fun to be able to see her and see both my girls at practice.
You were so locked in on practice.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, tomorrow, Halloween, huge day. What is
Yeah.
the family dressing up as?
I kind of leave that to Kennedy. I that's mom's job. So I whatever she says, whatever she tells me to dress up as, I'll do it. So whatever she says, that's what will happen.
Will you guys be trick or treating? Or are they too young to trick or treat? Just
She,
handing out candy.
yeah, she's too young, so we'll just be there with the candy for the kids in the neighborhood.
Well, circling back to football because you do host Austin P, a ranked opponent. This is going to
Yeah.
be huge. What have you guys been focusing specifically when you look at how the Governors have been performing their QB and some of their defense
Yeah,
strategies?
for sure. I think they're playing at a really high level right now. I think Austin P has a lot of great athletes on their team. And our focus is just making sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. That we are feeling really confident in our game plan, that everyone knows their jobs very well. So, at the end of the day, you are playing against an opponent, but if you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't do anything. So, really just focusing on what we need to focus on and, playing hard, playing physical, and doing our jobs. It'll be a good game. Awesome P, like I said, well coached, playing at a high level right now. So, it will be a good one this Saturday.
Should be a fun one. Bronson, great catching up with you as always. Southern Utah will host Austin Peay. It is a 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time kickoff on ESPN Plus.
Awesome. Thank you, Kendra.